Forget about Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Archaeologists have been busy unearthing something very interesting in our viewing area. They're digging up an ancient culture. Matthew Gage is here from the university's Office of Archaeological Research to tell me more about it. Matthew, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Thanks so much for being on the show with us today, and you brought us some neat stuff. But before we get to the stuff, let's talk about what you guys are doing and where you're finding these items at.
Okay, well, the city of Trussville is in the process of building a new football stadium for the high school. It's called the Hewitt-Trussville High School Stadium, and the project is being overseen by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. As part of the permitting process, we have to go in and do the archaeology on the site before they can build the stadium. We knew there was an archaeological site there, and we had an opportunity to go in and take a look at it and see what all was there.
And the folks at home can see some pictures that you were nice enough to send us. This is the site that you guys are working, right?
It is. The site is pretty large. It's right in the upper portion of the Cahaba River drainage. There are a couple of drainages that come in from the uplands adjacent to it, and it was a perfect place for people to live thousands of years ago.
And I guess you guys have been finding the things that people thousands of years ago used, their iPhones and their iPads.
Absolutely.
And their PCs and that sort of thing.
Multi-purpose tools and everything else.
Right.
Archaeologists are, in essence, trash pickers. And we love to go back through and see the materials that people left behind. And this site has been fantastic for us. It's a great opportunity to look at a couple of nice little snapshots in time.
Now let's take a look at some of the things that you brought us. You guys are saying this ancient culture is roughly 8,000 years old, is that right?
We have components that we've found that are that old, but
right.
The two main components that we're concerned with date to much more recently.
Okay.
About AD 1000 is the more recent of the two, at a time when people were pushing their way into the Cahaba River drainage from the Black Warrior drainage and influencing the cultures that already existed in that area. The earlier component is about 2,500 years old, and it's at a time when agriculture is really starting to take off in the area and people are starting to use pottery. We're seeing a big change in the subsistence strategies, the way people were living and what they were eating.
Gotcha. Now, what have you brought us to show?
Okay, well, these are just a few of the artifacts that we found. They've come out of the site very recently, in fact, so recently that none of them have been cleaned.
That's okay.
So they have the dirt associated with them that came out of the field. And it just gives you an idea of what we're seeing on this site. A lot of lithic tools, including arrowheads, and then pottery vessels like this beautiful little cup that we found. It's a fantastic chance to find an intact vessel like that, and it's really a nice piece.
Now, how old would you say these items are that you've brought?
These come from about AD 1000, okay. And it's at a time when folks are really starting to become even more and more influenced by the areas that they're staying in. They're not doing hunter-gatherer activities, they're not traveling over massive distances, they're trading over massive distances, but individual groups are staying closer to home. Population's becoming a lot more dense, and as a result of that, you see these people staying in certain locations for longer periods of time.
Now, this would actually be, these people are laying down the roots to what we would later know is civilization in this part of
Absolutely.
Our country, right?
These would be the precursors to the Mississippian group, who were then the precursors to the tribes that we know historically.
The Choctaw, Chickasaw, Cherokee Creek, Seminole.
You got it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I remember my Alabama
That's
history.
pretty good. I'm impressed.
Now, in the bag over there, those are chunks of the ancient internet, right?
This is stuff that we came prepared to show you just how nasty the materials are when they come out of the field.
Oh, wow.
And it looks like nothing until they're cleaned up. And once they get cleaned up, we really have a good opportunity to see that it isn't just all rocks and junk out there.
Right.
There's a lot of tools and pieces that give us a lot of indication of what these people were doing on a daily life.
There we go.
On a daily basis.
So it's just one big story unfolding after another.
It's incredible what these sites can tell us, and it's a fantastic opportunity for the children in Jefferson County. We've had a lot of influence from the high school, a lot of kids being involved. They've been out working on the site with us, a great group of kids, helping us a lot. And it gives them a sense of ownership for the site and coming to terms with the fact that when we dig a site, we destroy it. And they have to build this stadium, and to build the stadium, they've got to destroy the site. but we can collect the available information that that site includes.
Super. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for letting me be here.
Fascinating stuff. You can find out more about UA's Office of Archaeological Research by calling 205-371-2266 or online at museums.ua.edu/OAR.